Have I missed these videos? Someone in the comment section let me know when the last Which Fragrance Is For You video dropped. Give me the exact date after an extremely long hiatus. We are so back. Tonight's fragrance video is actually quite special. I've actually been gifted a few fragrances by a popular and famous perfumer by the name of Richard Herbin. And if you guys don't know who Richard Herbin is, he is actually the perfumer, the nose behind Tom Ford's Oud Wood. So if you know about Tom Ford's Oud Wood, this is your guy. Salute to Richard for sending these through. Richard has a company called Precious Liquids, and one of the main reasons I wanted to work with Precious Liquids is because someone that I really trust with their fragrance recommendations. I trust their scent profile of their nose. I trust their opinions. They have similar tastes to mine. Actually recommended a fragrance that Richard actually finally sent over, and if you watching this know about Precious Liquids, then you probably know exactly the fragrance I'm talking about. I'm sure this must be the powerhouse of the house, not the mitochondria. But receive this little card here. Here's Richard, shout out to Richard. It says Precious Liquid, directly from award-winning French perfumer Richard Herbin. Nice handy little bag, right? Sometimes I be forgetting these videos are ASMR and I forget to make sounds with the stuff that I have. Nice. The first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight is actually the main fragrance of the show. Wasn't very ASMR-y. Sorry about that, mate. Actually, let's leave it in there. If I haven't mentioned it already, need to get the light hitting it well. I think salt and pepper comes in this really nice fingerprint magnet box, standard box. And I believe these come in 75 milliliters. I don't know if you can tell. I've given this a few wearings because I was gonna initially record a first impressions and then record a review, which is this video. But this is quite lovely actually. This is an Eau de Parfum EDP. And again, salt and pepper. Non-magnetic atomizer, well, cap. And the atomizer test. I don't want to spray my stuff. Very nice. If you don't know, this fragrance has specifically been compared to Dior Sauvage a lot. Now, on first impression, I understand why the comparisons were made. However, these fragrances smell nothing alike. I think they are from the same, they share the same essence because of the spices. In Dior Sauvage you have the pink peppers, you have the cardamom. And in this, well, this is salt and pepper, so there's a bunch of peppers in this. Matter of fact, let's get to the notes right now. And boy, does it live up to its name. So, salt and pepper includes Szechuan pepper, Szechuan sauce, Szechuan pepper, black pepper, and pink pepper. These are in the top notes. You have caraway, carrot seeds, bergamot, and coriander in the middle notes. And the base notes, this smells lovely. And the base notes, it has sea notes, which I guess aquatic vibes, violet leaf, patchouli, and a libanum. On first wearing is interesting. So according to the notes, this doesn't have ambroxan in it like a Dior Sauvage would. But for some reason, I go nose blind to this really quickly. It kind of irritates me whenever fragrances do that, because if I like the scent of a fragrance, which I clearly do, this smells lovely. If everyone can smell it, that's great. You get the compliments, you get the head turns, you get everything. But if I can't smell the fragrance that I put on because I want to enjoy it, piss take, I think I start to go nose blind. Listen, this has nothing to do with the fragrance's performance. You going, I think I've said this before in a previous ASMR video about fragrances. Just because you cannot smell your fragrance no more, it doesn't have anything to do with its performance. It's literally your own nose, which you can't change, but it has no impact on the fragrance's performance. A fragrance is either good at performing or it's not. But if it's not, then it's not. But if it is, if you can't smell it after a while, you either have to judge it based on other people's reactions, or you can literally ask someone, yo, do you still smell my fragrance on me? And if they're like, yo, yeah, like I've been smelling it for the past like 3 hours, then you're Gucci guilty. In the spirit of summer, which is coming around the corner, spring is pretty much here in the UK, but summer's around the corner. This is a great summer option, in my humble opinion. The C notes in the base makes perfect sense. I think the fragrance is actually quite well balanced. You'd expect a lot of spice with a pepper. It's not a pepper base, it's more like a pepper top, which is interesting because it starts off very peppery, but then it settles down into this nice, I should actually spray this on my skin. It starts off very peppery, but it's smooth, it's not as harsh. It's also not as, what's the word, synthetic, like a Dior Sauvage. Even though Dior Sauvage smells really nice, it's definitely very synthetic. This is a lot smoother, I guess, with the more expensive and natural ingredients and notes. It settles down into almost a spicy blue scent, which is interesting for summer. You know, I think that's one of the reasons it works, is because it's a blue scent, but it has spice to it, very similar to your Dior Sauvage, which is where the comparisons, I guess, come from. This scent is 100% loved by the ladies. Actually, it's one of the reasons I was so interested to finally get my nose on it, because the person, like I said, who recommended it to me, this person's actually a woman, and she said that women love these kinds of scent. And then when I started to do my own Googles, and I understood that, oh wow, it's compared to Dior Sauvage, it's like a Dior Sauvage, you know, in the same family, in the same essence, and women love it, I'm probably gonna love it. This one's nice, man. I actually don't know anything about where you would be able to get your nose on something like this. I don't know if I went to Harrods or Selfridges, for example. I'm in the UK, I'm in London, if I could find this and get my nose on it. But if you are in America, maybe if you are in the UK, you can get your nose on this, I'm not sure. But if you're in America, you probably could get your nose on this and let me know how you feel about this. But we're not done. This one I'm actually quite excited for, because I haven't actually sampled any of these. The salt and pepper is the only one that I opened and wore for like a good 3-4 days before coming to you right now to make this video. But this is actually a discovery set. I think there's like 3 or 4 fragrances in here. Oh hell yeah. This is what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, my lighting's a bit, oh that's perfect. You can see the colorways of each bottle. The scents that I've been given are aqua oud, blue agave, that sounds interesting, another blue scent, and sangria oak. Sangria is like a wine, right? Like a drink. I think I'm gonna go for the blue agave first. The color of this is it's very enticing. You almost want to drink it like a shot. But let's see how it goes. Spray it right here on my righty tighty. Ooh. Off rip. This is giving me vodka on the rocks vibes. I think that's by Killian, right? Don't quote me on that, but vodka on the rocks vibes. I can already tell that for me specifically, and this being a blue scent worn in the summer, this one is going to be like a really safe, a really inviting, a really mass appealing scent. Really clean, not in a soapy way like a Prada L'homme, but clean. It's also fresh. I can sense that there's some sort of bergamot or lemon or lime in this fragrance. This one's really nice. I've never smelled an agave before. Was that like a flower? I've never smelled an agave, a plant like an agave. But clearly they smell nice, G. Let's go find the notes. So I was right about the lime. There's sea salt, which is interesting. There's salt and pepper, and there's sea salt in blue agave. Maybe salt just works really well with bluer scents. Interesting. But there's sea salt, agave, lime, driftwood. That's interesting. Maybe on the dry down. I'll maybe get that woody feel, because I don't think it's a base. This Fragrantica literally just showed all the notes here. It's not in order of top, middle, or base. So lime, agave, sea salt, sage, bay leaf, and driftwood. So a very green, by the notes, a very green yet fresh, clean fragrance. I like this one. This is, I think, the blue scent of the house, and this is very nice. If you guys know me, and I'm sure you guys know me by now, you will know that oud is one of my favorite notes in fragrances. Like I said, I never used to like oud, but as at the start of my fragrance journey, but as my nose matured and I matured, oud started to grow on me. And now oud, when done well, there are certain ouds that are not done well. Hopefully this is done well, but when oud is done well, boy, can it be good. Middle Eastern vibes, Dubai vibes, just lovely. This, out of all the fragrances in the discovery set, this is what I'm looking forward to the most. So without further ado, that was probably too many puffs of the oud in such a small space, but we move. Oh my gosh. Oh, hello. It's oud. It's a fresh oud. It's not heavy on the oud. It's a little woody. Hey, bear in mind, like, this is my first impressions. I'm sharing my first impressions of these fragrances with you, so I have no idea on projection. I have no idea of longevity. Projection and longevity on the salt and pepper are good. These ones are probably decent too, but I have no idea because I'm just smelling them for the first time with you guys. This one smells like there's a lot going on. It actually smells like this. I'm gonna check the notes in a bit, but it smells like there's some alcohol in here, maybe. This is a mature fragrance. This is not for a 28 and under. So if you were to get your nose on this, bear that in mind. There are certain fragrances that you cannot rock. Everyone to each their own. No. Certain fragrances cannot be rocked by certain ages. If you are too old, you're on one extreme. You can't rock certain fragrances, my guy. And if you are too young, bro, you cannot rock certain fragrances. I think this is 100% for a more mature nose. I can appreciate this. Younger Roscoe, he wouldn't appreciate this. So the notes: seagrass, melon, sea notes, driftwood, the wood, oud, pineapple. Interesting, I smell zero pineapple in this. This smells quite nice actually. Ambergris, lime, patchouli, bergamot. Yes, pineapple, lime, bergamot. The freshness comes in. Szechuan pepper, pink pepper, vetiver, and moss. A bunch of notes here. Just an amalgamation of scent. To be fair, out of the blue agave and this, I would lean more so towards the blue agave personally. But this is quite nice. Again, very mature. Not for youngins, not for YNs. Sangria oak time, baby. Where do I want to spray this? Okay. Really nice atomizers, I must say. Whoa. Holy shit. This one might just be a little bit of Roscoe, you know. See, I wouldn't rock this on a day-to-day, but me personally, I could definitely dress this up. You might not be able to tell because the clothes I wear in these ASMR videos, you know, they're very like normal, regular. And if I rocked up like this, smelling like this, you'll probably be like, damn, like, who's this mysterious ass nigga? Like, what does he know that I don't know? Like, he's a bit weird, he's a bit, you know. But this is nice actually. I'd say this is unisex. I can see some sophisticated, walking past a sophisticated looking woman in London and her smelling like this, her central smelling like this. But then again, I can also dress this up myself personally. What's this? Sangria oak, so I'm expecting some oak wood and Sangria, like the drink, right? This is nice, man. Again, I think in terms of preference, the mass appealing blue agave makes the most sense for me personally. This one's drying down really nicely, bro. This one smells just like vodka on the rocks by Killian. And I love that fragrance. I have a bottle of the fragrance. This is nice, man. It's really smooth. Let's go to the notes. Sangria, of course. Oak, of course, oak wood. Saffron, rum. So it has sangria and rum. An alcoholic base. Boozy is the word. Yeah. Cardamom, pear, patchouli, pink grapefruit, labdanum, oak moss, and davana, which is, I guess, a plant. This is really nice, man. This is like nighttime. It just screams nighttime. It screams not necessarily a date night, but like you go out and you're just chilling with your it's not even with your friends. This is like with a partner or with someone that you like and you're trying to woo, and you guys are drinking margaritas, or you just had a dinner maybe by a beach or something, or maybe like after a movie you guys just go on a walk. This is that kind of vibe. It's just really nice after a night of drinking. Hey, if you're under 21, don't drink. But this is nice. It is boozy as shit. But it's again just like the aqua oud. They're both very grown up scents. This one's quite lovely. I'm not sure. Oh mate, I got another fragrance in here. I guess this is not just a carry case. I guess this is also some sort of that was almost peak. Yeah. So I guess you can put each of these fragrances into this and spray them around. This is quite nice. What is this? Another oud. Juniper oud. I'm expecting juniper berries and oud. Maybe those are the only two notes in the whole fragrance. Oud and Roscoe are like these. Let's give it a spray. Here we go. I want to put it back in. I don't want to disturb it too much. Disturb the feng shui. Oh yeah. Let's get a whiff of this. You know what this immediately reminds me of? Mugler, right? What's his name? Thierry Mugler. Angel for Men, but like the brown one. It's gonna be on the screen right now, but the brown. I remember buying this fragrance in third year of uni. I ended up giving it away because at that time I don't think my nose was mature enough for this. Immediately, that's the vibe of this fragrance. Immediately, I remember spraying that specific fragrance on a card and loving it, so I bought a bottle, but then for some reason on my skin, the bottle, it smelled a bit weird, like it was nuclear. All of his fragrances have a certain note to it. So it doesn't even matter what the fragrance is. It could be a blue fragrance, it could be a nighttime fragrance, it could be a winter fragrance, it could be this, it could be this. But they all have that same essence and it's a note and I can't put my finger on it. This doesn't have that. So this is pretty much, wow. This is pretty much just that without that note. So this bottle without that note. Let me go to the notes real quick because like this is going to be interesting. So this fragrance has cypriol, which is a plant, birch, which is a wood, oud, of course, juniper berries, of course, pink pepper, cardamom, nutmeg, and chamomile. Like the stuff you put in tea, right? Bro, if you ever get your nose on this and you know exactly what fragrance I'm talking about here, for some reason I can't. Is it pure malt? Is that what the fragrance I'm thinking about? The brown bottle, pure malt, or pure Havane. Oh man, is one of them. I think pure malt is the darker version. I think pure Havane is what I'm talking about, the brown version. Similar vibes, man. Super similar vibes. Honestly, in totality, these fragrances smell really lovely. Not gonna lie though, I think in terms of what I like, the juniper has taken over the #1 spot. Oh, mate. Followed by blue agave, followed by sangria oak, and then the aqua oud. This Mr. Richard, salute. This sangria oak, salute. This has dried down to something really sweet and just lovely. You want to eat it. I wouldn't really call it a gourmand, but I guess it is one because of the booziness. Boozy fragrances are mostly gourmands because you can drink them literally. The sangria, bro, this is really sweet. This is lovely. It's actually a toss up between this and the juniper. Okay, no, it's the juniper. This is unreal. Once again, salute to Richard Urban for sending through these fragrances. And before we go, there's actually a fragrance that it's quite old now. Not old, but everyone in the fragrance community probably knows about this fragrance. And as a bonus, as summer is coming up, this is honestly, I think, going to be one of my summer scents. It might be in the thumbnail, to be fair, like I might have given it away, maybe I didn't. But Louis Vuitton, is it Imagination or is it Imaginations with an S? I'm sure it's Imagination with just an N, no S. I actually got a sample of this like maybe last year, and I didn't wear it as much because I had a bunch of other summer fragrances ahead of it. But recently someone actually wore this and I was like, bro, what fragrance do you have on? And he says Louis Vuitton Imagination. I says, wow, I actually have a bottle of that, like a sample, like a, what they called, bro, a travel size bottle of Louis Vuitton Imagination. And I was like, you know what, in my summer rotation for sure. there are certain fragrances that you can smell on your skin and it smells a certain way. I think I've explained this before too. But in the air, like as a scent trail or a scent bubble, it's completely different. This is great in both aspects. If you're wearing this in the summer and you're just standing still and there are people around you, people are going to want to come closer. Shout out to Drake. Even though they're both top in terms of scent bubble and scent trail and smelling on skin, I think the smell in the air is just even more intoxicating. When you come up close to it, it smells lovely, of course. But there's something about this in the air, which is how I clocked it on my man when I said, yo, what you wearing, my guy? There's something so inviting and summery and fresh about this fragrance, and I think it's one of the biggest reasons this is the staple for Louis Vuitton's fragrances. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this fragrance video. Just a quick, sentiment on fragrance videos as a whole. Obviously, I'm an ASMR artist and I make fragrance videos also. I was watching a video from Demi Rawling, who is a fragrance reviewer that pretty much motivated me to review fragrances in the first place. I've always been a frag head, but she is the one that motivated me. It wasn't Jeremy Fragrance, it wasn't anyone else, it was her. And she basically disappeared off the face of the earth for like 4 or 5 months, and she came back like 2-3 days ago, and she basically made a video, and in the video she was speaking about how the fragrance community has changed. I thought I was the only one that experienced that felt that, but it's not as it was 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Like, when I started to make these videos, the fragrance community was a certain way, and now it's completely different. Not really a slight on what it's become, but it's just, for lack of a better word, different. And I think that's pretty much one of the reasons why I haven't been making fragrance videos. Like, I have so many fragrances that I can review all the time, but fragrance reviews are not as they were. Fragrance videos, like, it's almost like a TikTok trend. It's almost like a viral thing to do. I don't think people, the essence of a fragrance video is completely different. Like, when you watch a fragrance review, everything's microwave, just like the content nowadays. Everything's microwave, everything's really quick, everything's really, like, this new viral thing, and then when you smell them, it's just a fragrance that has blown up because of TikTok, because of a trend. It's not the same. It's lost the essence, the je ne sais quoi. This juniper oud is unbelievable, by the way. Mate. But yeah, like I was saying, let me know if you guys who have been watching my fragrance videos for the past 4 years, 3 years, 5 years knows what I'm talking about. Take care.